Hello, is there any friend waiting for the seminar?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yes. Namaskar, sir.
Madam, who is speaking and from where, please?
Yeah, I am Krishna Bhattacharya.
Oh, Krishna Bhattacharya.
Ha.
I know you. I know you. Once I back from Bangalore to Kolkata in a train with you.
Once we met in
I can remember you. We
Okay,
are okay. How are
Thank
you,
you.
madam?
I'm all right. I'm retired now. And
I am also retired, and I have gone through your poems and.
Oh no, sir, I don't write poem. Perhaps you are confusing with some other
Oh, okay.
lady.
That Krishna Bhattacharya.
Yeah.
There's
Maybe
another poet also.
some other lady. Actually, we met in the Tripura University at some expert committee.
Oh, I see. I see.
I'm
I
a
see.
student. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Huh.
Is there any other friend?
Pardon?
Any other friend waiting for this seminar?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Nandakumar Babu. I mean, I have taught in Tripura University for 5 years.
Yeah.
And I have met you on many occasions, but you were, by that time, you were a star. So.
Thank you. Actually, I am now in the Tripura University Department of Kokborok. As you know, Kokborok has been introduced into university level in the year 2015. Since then, I am teaching there now.
Yeah. But even before that, I left Tripura in 2006. But even then, we knew you.
Okay, thank you
we
very much.
We knew what you meant for Tripura culture and Tripuri culture and Tripuri language.
Yeah, yeah. Am I getting Dr. Amitabh ji?
Yeah, I'm Amitabh Jaku.
Yeah. So should I start?
Krishnadi will introduce the chair first.
Okay.
Have you?
We are all fine, Krishnadi.
Did you address welcome address? Did you deliver your welcome address?
No, Krishnadi, please introduce the chairperson for today.
Okay. So good evening. I welcome you all on behalf of the India chapter of the International Society of Bengal Studies to this 7th web lecture of the 7-day web lecture series. And today we will listen to the speaker. Today's speaker is Mr. Nandakumar Dev Burma, a senior and reputed scholar in Kokborok language. And today's coordinator is Professor Gopa Datta Bhaumik, who is former Vice Chancellor of the Gaurbanga University, and he is a reputed scholar and teacher in Bengali language and literature. Now the platform is yours, madam. Professor.
Thank you, Krishna. I am extremely delighted and I'm really grateful to the society, Bongo Vidya, for inviting me to chair this session. And I personally requested Amitabh when he gave me option that which session you'd like to chair. I selected this Kokborok because I'm really eager to listen to the renowned scholar N.K. Dev Burman's lecture. And personally, I want to know about Kokborok. It will be highly interesting, I have no doubt. And Kokborok is a very ancient language as per my knowledge goes. Kokborok is not only spoken in Tripura, but also in parts of Bangladesh, Myanmar, and other places also. And lakhs of people are conversant in this language, and it has several dialects also. I don't know if I am wrong, but I am personally attached to Tripura. I am from Kumilla, that is one thing.
Oh, I see.
Kumilla was in Tripura district. Kumilla, as now in Bangladesh, was under the direct rule of the kings of Tripura. And eventually, my in-laws, still some of them reside at Agartala. And we had a house in Udaipur also. So I know these places and I love these places. Such a beautiful state. I doubt, if not the most beautiful state in the northeastern region. And I love the culture of Tripura also, the tribal culture, their work. And in 80s, after my marriage, I wanted to learn Kokborok. But believe me, I didn't get the opportunity. There was no crash course or like anything. And so I couldn't learn it. So I am eagerly waiting to listen to N.K. Devarma's lecture, who is a renowned scholar in Kokborok and has penned above 50 books and dramas. And he is associated with the University of Tripura, which is in Suryamani Nagar. Am I wrong? Suryamani Nagar is the place. Yes, I have gone there. I have visited that big university. And I know that Kokborok has developed much after 80s, and now it is flourishing. I will not waste your time more. Now we are eagerly waiting to listen to N.K. Devarma's lecture. Professor Devarma, please come and take the speaker's mic.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you so much. You are one of our relatives, incidentally, who are residing now outside Tripura. So many welcome to this lecture from the site of Tripura, especially from Kokborok speakers. So this is Nandakumar Devarma as a guest faculty in the Department of Kokborok. As I have already said that Kokborok has been introduced into a master program in the Tripura University from 2015. Since then, I used to teach them. So please let me introduce about Kokborok. Kokborok is the language of indigenous people of Tripura. And linguistically, it comes from Tibeto-Burman linguistic group, very clearly to say the Bodo Naga group. And it has now about 11 lakhs speakers. As Madam has said, correctly said, that some of them stay in Myanmar, in Mizoram, to Nagaland, to Assam, to Meghalaya, and of course Bangladesh. Madam was talking about Kumilla, and Kumilla, as you know, was one of the big city in the princely days of Tripura. It is a very important place. I speak Bengali in Kumilla dialectical language. So I can see that many Bengali friends are listening to this lecture, and I am very, very delighted to speak all the Bengali friends around the globe in Bengali also. Please excuse me for my bad Bengali pronunciation. আমি বাংলাতে বলতে অত্যন্ত গর্বিত বোধ করছি। চারপাশে সারা পৃথিবীব্যাপী আমাদের বাঙালি বন্ধুরা এই বক্তৃতা শুনছেন, এবং স্পেশালি কুমিল্লার কথা বললেন ম্যাডাম, যে কুমিল্লাটা আমার বাড়ির খুব কাছাকাছি। এখন বাংলা নিয়ে, ভাষা নিয়ে আলোচনা, ককবরক নিয়ে আলোচনা, কিন্তু বাংলা বলতে পারবো না শ্রোতারা যেখানে বাঙালিরা আছেন, সেটা আমার কাছে কেমন একটু অসুবিধাজনক মনে হচ্ছিল। তাই বাংলাতে আমি বললাম, আপনাদের সকলকে অভিনন্দন জানাই ত্রিপুরাবাসী হিসেবে এবং ককবরক ভাষী হিসেবে। তারপরে কার্যকারণ সূত্রে আমাকে আবার ইংরেজিতে ফিরে যেতে হচ্ছে। These Tripuris, they designate their language as Kokborok. Kok means language and Borok means people or the name of ethnic society. It comes from Bodo family of Assam, Bodo or Boro. So Kokborok means the language of Bodo or Borok peoples, or language of human. Tripura has, the name of Tripura even goes to the days of Mahabharata. It is one of ancient state in India. So Kokborok has a long linguistic heritage. Tripura has a long cultural and historical heritage. Tripura, in fact, is a land of cultural synthesis. From time immemorials, many caste community togetherly live here in peace and harmony. Tripura was princely state and independent, you can say, country during British period. After British period, Tripura joined the Indian Federation on 15th October 1949. Since then, we are Indian. Now, what is the status of Kokborok? Kokborok, we have known the indigenous language of Tripura. Kokborok has reached up to university level, and PhD scholars are doing their work. But no medium of instruction in Kokborok. Kokborok has not been recognized and introduced as medium of instruction in the primary or other educational status also. But it has introduced as subject language. Now it is up to, as I have said, the MA or PhD level. A lot of books have been published in the Kokborok literature. I like to say the first beginning of giving written shape to Kokborok was done by, in the year 1897, by Daulat Ahmed, who was, I should say, a man of Kumilla area, just Madam has said. So till then, a lot of literary activities have been done. Translation works and other write-ups have also been done. Kokborok is now recognized as one of the state official language by the government. It was done in the 19 January 1979. So Kokborok has got status to be used in government activities and communications also. Kokborok has 9 speech communities, and every community has its different pronunciations, different culture, but the literary written shape as growing up with its own style. I like to say that Kokborok has no script or alphabet for its own. From beginning period, it is written in Bengali script. Now, since 50 years, a debate is going on between Kokborok speakers to choose script for Kokborok. A section requires Roman script, that is in English script, and another section Bengali script. Nowadays, a few voices are rising to write Kokborok in Devanagari script also. In spite of having this debate, the educational process in the school and colleges in terms of teaching Kokborok is smoothly going on. Now, I like to mention in the princely days, in those days, development of Kokborok was done in a very few manner. In our royal family, Kokborok was also spoken. But literary activities, writings, and creation of literature was seen very rare. Though our kings and our royal persons were very much interested in literature, culture, paintings, drama, and in every part of the culture. Ananga Mohini Devi, Bir Chandra Manikya, these type of persons are very, very well known in the field of literature, music, and culture. So, in a short few lines, I have tried to give the primary knowledge, informations about my Kokborok. Now I request friends, is there any supplementaries to me, please? Hello, are my friends listening to me?
Yes, we can hear you. It is clear.
Yeah, is there any question, madam? Please ask me. Is there any supplementaries?
Oh, no. Certainly, certainly.
I have almost finished my lecture. So you can ask me whatever you want to know.
Okay. May I place my questions to you?
Okay, please.
How many alphabets are there in Kokborok?
There are 6 vowels.
6 vowels.
Yeah. And almost all English vowels are used. But some joint alphabets are there, CH, DH, PH, like that.
Like
Z,
diphthongs.
yeah, Z and Y, these alphabets are very, very rarely used. If it feels felt necessary to use any English words and having Y or Z, then we use it.
And how many consonants are there?
I have said all the consonants in English that are used, but all consonants are not compulsory. Not compulsory to use. If circumstances appears to write, then those alphabets like Z, X are used.
Okay, Professor Dibbarman. Another question. Sometimes it sometimes arises in my mind. Are you trying to find a script for Kokborok? Like Sautali language now found a script which is called Olchiki. Are you trying to find a separate script for your language? Or are you satisfied with the Roman?
Personally, madam, I practice writing in Roman script. Okay. But I have written couple of books, dramas, poetry, and other articles in Bengali script also. So
it can be written in Bengali also. Okay.
Yeah, I can write Bengali. I write Kokborok in Bengali script also.
As Sautali language can be written in Roman and Bengali, in both languages, both alphabets.
Okay.
But now they are trying to now they have introduced Olchiki.
I have no idea about Olchiki, but I have heard the Olchiki. Raghunath Murmu
was the modern script. Yeah. Modern script.
Okay. I know Raghunath Murmu was the discoverer of Olchiki script, if I am not wrong.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right, you are.
Yeah. So we had also one person, very, very renowned person and Pandit, who tried to discover script in Kokborok. In the year 1940 itself, he was Alindra Lal Tripura. he introduced and he composed vowels and consonants both in Kokborok. I have no idea about his script because I was at that time just a school-going student. What the tragedy happened, Olindrolal Tripura, in spite of discovering the script for Kokborok, he did not try to make his script popular in the mass people. He did not try to reach his script among the mass people, among the Kokborok speaker. But he could write, and he had a son, elder son, who was a student at that time, student of medical colleges. Both father and son used to write their letters in their own script, what was discovered by Olindrolal Tripura. Kokborok, linguistically, I am not a person of linguistic subject or language science. I have no idea. But Kokborok has different pronunciation of its own. In Kokborok, lots of words are there having similar spelling, but the sounds or tunes are different. Spelling is same,
Okay.
and tunes are different. So there is high tone to low tone, middle tone, etc. That could not be brought into written form, both in Bengali and Roman script. Initially, I started my literary works in the age of 2021 in Bengali script, and then after joining to educational process system, I started writing in Roman script. And I have gathered the experience to have a comparative studies between Roman and Bengali script. And finally, I decided there are slightly better facilities to represent my sounds in Roman script. It has slightly scientific process, sound system, etc. So nowadays, I write in Roman script. In the Tripura University, the authority has declared and noticed to write Kokborok both in Roman and Bengali script. Right conveniently, our student can reply in Kokborok both in Roman script or Bengali script. But my experience since 7 years in the Tripura University, I have not found any answer sheet in Bengali script. This is postgraduate educational position in the university. I have information that there are 22 colleges to teach Kokborok. In those colleges also, students write their answer sheet in Roman script. This is the information nowadays. Yes, madam, is there any question?
Okay. Another question. No, not no. I
Yes.
may call it not question, but we want to know about the language.
Yeah.
Do you have?
Yes. Yes, please.
Gopadi, we cannot hear you. Please unmute yourself. Gopadi, please unmute yourself.
Madam, are you listening to?
Gopadi, please unmute yourself. We cannot hear you.
Oh, রাজা আবার গন্ডগোল হয়ে গেছে।
Yeah.
আপনার মাইকটা অফ আছে।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
হ্যাঁ, ওই যে মিউট কেটে দিন। মাইকটা খুলে দিন।
শুনতে পাচ্ছেন?
Yes, now we can hear you. Right.
হ্যাঁ, এবার ঠিক আছে।
হ্যাঁ, বলুন।
গোপাদি আবার মিউট হয়ে গেছে। এইবার শোনা যাচ্ছে।
এবার ঠিক আছে। Do you have poetry, drama, novel, short story, all these things in Kokborok?
Yeah, I myself have written 40 to 43 dramas in Kokborok, and I have joined in many venues with my Kokborok drama in the national and international level also.
Are they translated into Bengali?
Yes, my drama, so a few dramas of mine has been translated into Bengali also, not only Bengali, in Hindi, English, Nepali, Bodo, and the Karnataki, other languages also.
Gopadi, after you, I would like to ask a few questions.
Okay, you may ask Amitavo. You are welcome. You may ask your questions.
Dr. Amitavo, আপনি তো আগরতলায় ছিলেন। হ্যাঁ, সুতরাং আমরা প্রিয়জনকে পেলাম অনেকদিন পরে আবার। আপনি আবার কবে আসবেন আগরতলায়?
তো আমরা যেহেতু এখানে যারা আছেন তারা প্রত্যেকে বাংলা বোঝেন, তো নন্দকুমার বাবু আমি বাংলায় বলবো না ইংরেজিতে?
বাংলাতে বলুন, বাংলাতে বললে আমি খুব খুশি হই।
না, শুরুটা এখান থেকে করি। বেলাই কেন হামবাই।
হ্যাঁ, শুরুতে আমি বলেওছি যে বাংলা বলতে পারলেই আমি গর্ববোধ করতে পারবো।
কিন্তু আমি একটু ইংরেজিও মাঝে মাঝে বলবো, কেননা আমরা এটা যারা ইংরেজি ভাষাভাষী তাদের জন্য।
As it is an international platform.
সে যাই হোক, কারণ মাঝে মধ্যে ইংরেজি বলুন।
So because my ancestors come from Karimganj, Nandakumar Babu, Karimganj.
আপনি কি করিমগঞ্জের?
হ্যাঁ।
Oh my God, আমরা প্রতিবেশী। I have
Karimganj
got
was
lots of
annexed
friends
to India only after Tripura princely state decided that they want to come in India.
Yeah.
For 3 nights, Karimganj was in East Pakistan, and the moment Tripura decided that Tripura will join India, Karimganj became a part of India. So I also am personally obliged to Tripura. But I have a few questions from Kumar Babu. The first one is, because we are now trying to understand the language politics.
Yeah.
Ago is because most of us are Bengalis, We are proud of Tagore, and we are proud of how Tripura had its state languages, Bangla. But I also know the fact that Tagore never tried to pursue the three kings. The first one who was elder to him, who gave him the first Puruskar, and the last one was much younger to him, who offered him the last Puruskar in his life. Tagore never actually persuaded the Tripura Raj Darbar or Raja's family to appreciate their own language. Apart from making it personal, how does the contemporary Kokborok intellectuals look at it? This is my first question. The second is, as you told about the three options which are being given by Tripura University, Roman, Bengali, and Devanagari. Going by the pronunciation pattern, which script do you think is more appropriate, more accurate to Kokborok pronunciation? The third one, each of the northeastern languages, like Bangla has always been, the modern Bengali literature has always had its reference to modern European literature. Likewise, it happened with northeastern languages having a reference point in the Bengali literature. And I know that each of the northeastern languages have developed their own literature. So, and you are a literature yourself. You have led that movement. So what do you think is there in Kokborok literature which identifies itself as different?
Yes. I start from the issues of script. The second question you have put, that university has not given notice to write Kokborok in Devanagari script. As I have said, Kokborok, when introduced in the MA class in the 2015, then only Tripura University's authority noticed Kokborok can be written in both Bengali and Roman script. It will depend upon the student's choice. Because in the MA class, students are already graduated from colleges. So they should have every independence to write their mother tongue in their own choice script. The question of Devanagari has come very recently in Tripura. A section has raised voice, they started raising voice. It should be written in Devanagari script also. What are the arguments they want to show? I don't know. I don't know perfectly and clearly. But some people say, I hear here and there, in the gossiping, in the market, in the buses, that if you write our Kokborok in Devanagari script, then central government will be considering to recognize and introduce into 8th schedule of the constitution. As you have rightly mentioned, the language politics. I belong to that opinion that the language politics is a politics being played in India from the very beginning period. many incidents we have experienced. The issue of declaring Tamil language as the best classical language, and other languages are trying to be classical language. So it is an instance of language politics. So the Kokborok from the beginning has become the victims of language politics. So I am not a definite person to speak on these issues. I am a simple writer. I have written whatever I want to write, both in Bengali and script. I have no amenities there. I started my education from the 6 years of age in Bengali script. And I started reading Rabindranath Tagore and Nazrul Islam. I used to recite, I used to follow. Whenever I sit to write in the midnight, when all the surroundings are very silent, the atmosphere is very silent. And if I start writing a poetry, then Rabindranath Tagore comes before me and asks me, what are you writing? What are you going to write? And I have already written this. I get this information from Nazrul, Rabindranath Tagore, Atul Prasad Sen, and Bankim Chandra. So I'm inspired. Is there anything to be grateful about language? That Bengali is the first to me. But why, after practicing 50 years, I am now 72. So after practicing 50 years and 52 books in the market, I have found this should be practice to write in Roman also, because certain facilities are there. And it is not, I think, a platform to speak elaborately. So this is the...
just a request, Nandakumar Babu, you can speak on this platform elaborately. Wherever, I mean, I think this is a very important point because, you know, because we are International Society of Bengal Studies doesn't mean that we want to promote Bengali or Bengal.
So people, including the next generation, youth generation, the generation who are now studying the college and universities, practically they are wanting to write their mother tongue in Roman script. Because I have already said that since 7 years, I have not found any answer sheet in Bengali script. So this is an indication, of course. This is the philosophy, I think, of youth generation in Kokborok. এবং এদেরকে সম্মান দেওয়া উচিত।
ঠিক নন্দকুমার বাবু, আমি কি একটা প্রশ্ন মাঝখানে করতে পারি? মানে আমি সত্যি আপনার সঙ্গে এগ্রি করছি। তাহলে দশরথ বাবুর প্রয়াসটা আজকের ককবরক যুবক যুবতীরা মানছে না, চাইছে না।
বাস্তবে তাই তো দেখা যাচ্ছে। কিন্তু as you have said the language politics, সেখানে স্কুল লেভেলে চাপিয়ে দেওয়ার একটা প্রবণতা দেখা যাচ্ছে। 9, 10, 11, 12 এই সমস্ত ক্লাসের ছেলেমেয়েরা তারা লিখতে পড়তে জানে, শিখেছে। তো সেখানে বাংলা স্ক্রিপ্টটা প্র্যাকটিসে রাখছে সরকার। তারা রোমান হরফে লেখার জন্য অ্যালাউ করছে না, বরং যারা রোমান হরফে লিখতে চায় তাকে নিন্দা করছে। তো রাজনীতির যে নিগুড় শিকড়, সেটা বোধহয় সেইখানে। এখন সরকারের লোকজন পাল্টায়, সরকারের কি দর্শন পাল্টায়, কর্মপদ্ধতি পাল্টায়, তাদের যে তথাকথিত উন্নয়নের যে চরিত্র চেহারা সেটা পাল্টায়, প্রশাসন পাল্টায়, কিন্তু সেখানে রোমান বাংলা এই বিতর্কটা টিকে থাকুক, এটা সলিউশন কখনো যেন না হয়, এই ধরনের একটা লবি থাকার সম্ভাবনা আছে। আপনি ব্যক্তিগতভাবে আগরতলায় থেকে গেছেন এবং দীর্ঘদিন ছিলেন, আপনি খুব কাছাকাছি থেকে এই জিনিসটা উপলব্ধি করেছেন, এটা আমার বিশ্বাস।
আচ্ছা, একটা কথা আনন্দ কুমার বাবু, did the kings of Tripura really patronize Kokborok?
এটার কোনো উদাহরণ আমি দিতে পারছি না। I am sorry to say that I have no.
That is very.
Gopati, as a Bengali, can I respond to this, please?
Okay, please. Please
It's
respond.
very unfortunate. It's not about Bengalis. It's about the most important icon of modern Bengali, Rabindranath Tagore, who, as I told, who got all the appreciations from the Tripuri Raj Darbar. Unfortunately, he never requested the kings actually, because he got,
Yes.
as I said, he got his, yeah. I don't think Nanda Kumar Babu need to say this. I think as a Bengali, I must admit to this. He was so happy.
আমি আপনাকে এই কথাগুলো বলার জন্য আলাদা করে অভিনন্দন জানাই। রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুর ত্রিপুরা রাজবাড়ি বা রাজবাড়িতে আতিথ্য গ্রহণ করার সময় তিনি 7 বার এসেছে, 7 times he visited ত্রিপুরা, এবং he never said, এমনকি খোঁজ খবর করেননি যে এখানকার স্থানীয় লোকেদের ভাষা ককবরকের কি অবস্থা আছে, তিনি সেটা খুঁজে দেখেননি। দেখেছেন এই ধরনের কোনো প্রমাণ সাহিত্যে পাওয়া যায়নি। রবীন্দ্রনাথ ত্রিপুরা রাজবাড়ি গোবিন্দ মাণিক্যকে নিয়ে একটা উপন্যাস লিখেছেন এবং মুকুট নামে একটা নাটিকা ছোট্ট লিখেছেন, এটা ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু জনগণের যে বিপুল সংবাদ যেখান থেকে তৈরি হয়ে আসে সাহিত্যের সংস্কৃতিতে, সেখানকার খবর খুব কম নিয়েছেন।
না, আসলে এই ব্যাপারে রবীন্দ্রনাথ অসমিয়ার ক্ষেত্রেও আমরা জানি যে বেজবড়ুয়ার সঙ্গে তাদের নিজেদেরই তারই জামাই।
Yes, Gopadi, I think today, I mean, I brought this issue today because I spent 5 years in Tripura, and
উনি তো অসমিয়াকেও একসময় বাংলার একটি শাখা বলে মনে করেছিলেন।
You know, Gopadi, in the Kolkata National Library, the central room, the long table that you see was donated by Tripura King. When you go to Vishwabharati, when Tagore was creating Vishwabharati, most of the donations came from Tripura King, but those are not important. The fact that neither National Library of India or Vishwabharati remembers any Tripuri to be there, because we will always look up to something else. But the fact is that a king to whom Tagore was almost a kid, who gifted him the first prize, and Tagore's last prize also came from the grandchild of that king, who was the king, and in Umakanta Academy, there was a celebration. My point is that that's why I wanted to bring all of this.
Actually, Amitabh, the Tripura kings always showed respect to Rabindranath Tagore.
No,
after reading
Gopati,
Bhagnori
please let me complete. Please let me complete, Gopati. I know where I am going is not very comfortable, but let me complete this. The point is that the relationship between Tripura and Tagore is something which we will always celebrate. The fact that when the colonial India didn't have Bangla as a state language, and Tripura as a princely state had Bangla as a language, we'll celebrate this. But the point is, somewhere, the most sensitive man who came, I mean, when I talk of Tagore, I would remember that what Mustafa said. That I don't know why he even was born as a Bengali. But the fact remains that today, when we are talking about endangered languages, language policies, equality, I think when Tripuris feel that Tagore got what he got from Tripura, but never appreciated the fact that the Tripura Raj family, whatever their state language is, speaks a different language within their family. And he never asked them to propagate that. This is what I was trying to underline. I don't think Nandakumar Babu needs to underline that. I think we should underline that.
Okay, it is true. Truth cannot be denied, no? And Tagore didn't understand that. I think he didn't care also about the dormant languages. Tripuri was.
We are not blaming Gopati. We are not blaming the individual Tagore. We are blaming the icon Tagore.
Icon Tagore. Okay.
Yeah. We are not blaming the individual Tagore.
But Amitabh, Tagore passed his heydays in East Bengal and his later days in Birbhum. Was he interested in the dialect of East Bengal or the dialect of Birbhum?
No, but the problem is Kokborok is the dialect of Bangla. And he didn't get as much he got from Tripura. He didn't got that from East Bengal or Birbhum. Okay, I'm not arguing with you, but I would love to continue this discussion.
He actually, he used some words of dialect, but he was not a man of dialect. He didn't use dialect.
Gopati, there is a letter from Tripura king to Tagore. When Jagadish Chandra Bosu...
Okay. He got so many things. Heaped respect heaped on respect from Tripura. From Bhagnori till his last day.
No, Gopati.
So many rivers.
I'll not agree to that. Because, you know, Gopati, what I'll tell you is that I was referring to a letter. The scientist about whom we are very proud, Jagadish Chandra Bosu, needed money to go abroad. So Tagore wrote a letter to Tripura king.
Yeah.
And Tripura king wrote back that even if I have a few less amount to spend for my son's wedding. No, my point is not even that. The point is, Gopati, what I'm trying to make today is that we all respect Tagore, and the Tagore I'm talking is an icon, not the individual.
But he had his limitations, we must admit.
And this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying he didn't have. This is only what I'm trying to underline.
He had his limitations.
But the point is, Gopati, we are being apologetic about it.
Yeah.
The moment we speak in such tongue that he had his limitations is the moment when we alienate ourselves from those who suffered it.
Okay, Dr. Amitabh, Professor Amitabh, and Gopati, I think we are going to wind up this program because 1 hour is almost 1 hour. Finally, I want to say a few lines that if you see the maps of Tripura, you can see the total geographical area has been exposed into Bengal. It does not mean the only geography has exposed, but as a result, all the people from both sides are habituated in residing together, exchanging cultures, language, and traditions. So it affects in the domestic life of the people of this area also. So far the Rabindranath Tagore is concerned, he was first designated as the Kavi Sambodhan. Tripurar Maharajai রবীন্দ্রনাথকে প্রথম কবি সম্বোধন করেন এবং and finally Rabindranath was conferred the Bharat Bhaskar Upadhi by Tripura Maharaja in final days. Rabindranath শেষ জীবনে
হ্যাঁ নন্দবাবু, এটা যেমন ত্রিপুরার রাজার পক্ষে একটা অমূল্য উপহার রবীন্দ্রনাথের প্রতি, রবীন্দ্রনাথও বাস্তব রাজার ছবি যেখানে এঁকেছেন, বাস্তব কাল্পনিক রাজা নয়, শ্রেষ্ঠ বাস্তব রাজা হচ্ছেন ওর সাহিত্যে গোবিন্দ।
হ্যাঁ, ভারত ভাস্কর উপাধিও রবীন্দ্রনাথের শেষ যে উপাধি পাওয়া ত্রিপুরা রাজা থেকে পেয়েছেন। তো এটা দাঁড়ায় ডক্টর অমিতাভ বলছিলেন যে আইকন রবীন্দ্রনাথ, আমি বলি ফিক্সড ডিপোজিট রবীন্দ্রনাথ। ফিক্সড ডিপোজিট রবীন্দ্রনাথ, আমরা তাকে ভাঙিয়ে ভাঙিয়ে খাচ্ছি। তো এটা মানে শুধু রাজা এবং রবীন্দ্রনাথ ব্যক্তি রবীন্দ্রনাথের বিষয়ে থাকেনি জিনিসটা, জীবন থেকে জীবনান্তে দু ধরনের মানুষের মধ্যে ঐক্যের যে বন্ধন আমরা সাধারণত বাজারে বলে থাকি, সেটা দৃঢ় থেকে দৃঢ়তর করার ক্ষেত্রে যথেষ্ট ভূমিকা নিয়েছে। কে লাভবান হয়েছে, কে ক্ষতিগ্রস্ত হয়েছে, মানে কে লুজার কে উইনার গেইনার, সেটা অন্য প্রসঙ্গ। কিন্তু দুটো সংস্কৃতি দুটো সাহিত্যকে একটি জায়গায় পরস্পরের কাছে ঘনিষ্ঠ করে তোলার ক্ষেত্রে রাজাকে যেমন স্মরণ করতে হবে, রবীন্দ্রনাথকেও স্মরণ করতে হবে। আমরা রবীন্দ্র উত্তর পুরুষেরা যারা সাহিত্য চর্চা করি, আমরা তো এই ঋণেই থাকবো এবং রবীন্দ্রনাথকেই ভাঙিয়ে খাবো। আপনাদের সবাইকে নমস্কার, সবাইকে শুভেচ্ছা, আপনারা সবাই ভালো থাকবেন।
একটু থাকুন, গোপাদি কৃষ্ণাদি কিছু বলতে চাইছেন?
Yes, I have some queries. Professor Dattobhumi, I have 1-2 queries to Nandakumar Babu.
Please proceed.
Okay, thank you Nandakumar Babu. Nice explanation, but I am coming to the language part. Since I deal with language, in search of the total speaker strength in India, I consulted the 2011 census, and I found that their Tripuri is enlisted not as not Kokborok. Now, what is the reason behind that? Tripuri is enlisted, not Kokborok. I think the census people, they enlisted the name as they got returned from the speakers. So what is your reaction to this name?
Tripuris designate their language as Kokborok. Kokborok and Tripuri as language, it is same thing.
Same thing, but I think, so do the Kokborok speakers do not use the Kokborok when the census people ask them for the mother tongue?
I have seen in some places Kokborok has also been written.
maybe, but in the census report, Tripuri is enlisted, not Kokborok. I searched for
Okay,
Kokborok.
I
Okay.
noted this point, madam. I will search. Okay.
Another small query, I'm interested to know about the dialects. You see, Tripuri has been shown the maximum number of speakers is in Tripura. And then in Assam, there is 22,000 and something more speakers, and Mizoram also 32,000 and something. So are the varieties different? Do you think that the spoken in Tripura and in Assam and in Mizoram different?
No,
Yeah, please.
I don't think they are different.
I see. And I'm interested to know about the dialects. How many dialects are there? Do you think
There are about nine dialects.
9 dialects? Okay, okay. So from one of my friends, I got the names. I got the names Jamatia, Noatia, Reang, Koloi, Uchoi, Tripura, Rupini, and one is missing perhaps.
Yeah, you are right. You are right.
And then what
You
else?
are right.
Something is missing. Some name is missing, I think.
Okay, that's okay. But you are correct.
Okay, okay. So thank you. And another point in connection with the script, use of Bengali script, I think what the people want should be, that should be accepted. If the speakers want the Roman script, and that should be accepted, I think so. And so far as Bengali script is concerned, you see, you said that there are 6 vowels, chota vowel. And as far as I know, there is one central vowel that is similar to English schwa, that is a, which we pronounce in the final one, the vowel. And this vowel is present in Kokborok. So it is very difficult to show through Bengali script. In that case, something would be modified.
Yeah.
Some problem.
Right. It is very, very important sound. We don't avoid this particular vowel.
Okay. So thank you very much. Thank you for your
very much. Thank you very much. ভালো থাকবেন সবাই। ভবিষ্যতে আবার দেখা হবে এই আশা করি। আমরা সকলেই ভালো থাকবেন। নমস্কার রইল আপনাদের সবাইকে।
আমরা ককবরক ভাষার উন্নতি কামনা করে আজকের অনুষ্ঠান এখানে শেষ করছি।
আপনাকে ধন্যবাদ।
ককবরক আরো উন্নতি লাভ করুক, আরো সাহিত্য লেখা হোক তাতে। হ্যাঁ, এবং যে ধরনের অনাদরের কথা এখানে হলো, we want to pass those days, and we best of luck for Kokborok, and bright days are ahead.
ধন্যবাদ গোপাদি, and ধন্যবাদ নন্দকুমার বাবু। আমাদের সংস্থা আন্তর্জাতিক বঙ্গবিদ্যা পরিষদ এবং এই 7 দিন ব্যাপী বক্তৃতামালার আয়োজন করেছে আন্তর্জাতিক বঙ্গবিদ্যা পরিষদের ভারত শাখা। ওকে, আই থিঙ্ক নন্দকুমার বাবু আমাকে বাংলা বলতে বাধ্য করে দিলেন, so I'll shift to English. This series of lecture has been organized by the India chapter of International Society of Bengal Studies, not because that we want to promote only Bengal studies, but when we thought of the celebrating International Mother Language Day, we thought that it's important that we talk of the non-scheduled languages of India. We have had speakers in last 6 days from various non-scheduled languages. And today we had a speaker from Kokborok. What we are trying to do is that we must try to understand each other. We must try to understand languages which have not been recognized by the Constitution, but which are there. 1 year back, with my students, I was doing a survey of languages, Indian languages, which have at least some presence, either on radio or television. I mean, we didn't took into consideration FM channels, we took into consideration only All India Radio, Doordarshan, school material, or where a language is taught in a school, and we found 457 languages. And that's India. I know, I'm sorry that I should not have prompted so many uncomfortable questions. But I think we must also deal with such uncomfortable questions. Unless we do that, we'll never be able to appreciate and understand the other. Yeah, we can try to understand the other in terms of Gayatri Spivak Chakraborty. But somehow that remains too much Chakraborty. We have tried in these 7 days to listen to people from language groups which have not been yet recognized by the 8th schedule of India. And that's the end of it. It should not end today. Our demand should be each and every language that is spoken in India should get an official status. I'm thankful to all of you, including speakers who joined us in the last 7 days. And I think the International Society of Bengal Studies, particularly its India chapter, because Japan chapter doesn't have an issue. It's a monolingual state. Bangladesh chapter doesn't have an issue. It's a monolingual state. And our European chapter also doesn't have an issue because it already explains itself, identifies itself as a multilingual space. But for India, the fact that the India chapter took this endeavor, not talking about Bangla, but talking about Rabha, Kokborok, etc. I think that's a historical responsibility that lies with the Bengali intellectuals of India. And we are trying to just put our moments into that.
Thank you. Bangladesh also has many languages which are in dormant position.
But Gopati, I don't want to get into that situation right now. It will be too uncomfortable.
It is not our headache, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is not our headache.
That's why it's an Indian chapter initiation.
Yeah, it is a separate state. They should think it in their way.
Yeah. I mean, because I really don't understand why any Khashi speaker should be in Bangladesh and Khashi shouldn't be recognized as a language in Bangladesh. So let's not get into that. And that's why it's not organized by the International Society of Bengal Studies. It is being organized by the India chapter of International Society of Bengal Studies. I must thank beyond.
And what is the role of Sahitya Academy in this respect about Kokborok? Does Dr. N.K. Debbarma know something?
No, why? I don't know why recording stopped anyway. My point is, Gopadi, I mean, these are really issues that we must continue to deal with. Sahitya Academy awards Kokborok writings. But I didn't ask Nandakumar Babu what happens to Dalong and Jamatia. Because Kokborok speakers consider those to be dialects, but the speakers themselves don't. It's almost like Tagore wanted Assamese to be a dialect, and the Assamese did. So, you know, as I said, it's a very difficult, it's a difficult situation. Krishnani?
Just, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Maybe in course of time, Jamatia will arise, will develop as a separate language, as Assamese did.
And we should not say just will, we must say that should.
Maybe, yeah, I'm not saying so should, because it depends on the attitude of the people, whether they want a separate identity, whether they want to be separated from the other groups.
They do, Gopadi, they do. The point is that when you are fighting with a larger enemy, and for Northeast is Bengali.
No, but about Assamese was a different language from the very beginning. And so the dispute
I
between
don't see that. Gopadi, you mentioned a Jamai from Tagore family who had to write against his Sasur.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is this, if you, I think we should conclude on this, that this should be an endeavor where we try to understand each and every language community.
Absolutely.
And I'm happy that the India chapter of Bengal Studies has tried to do this in these 7 days.
We thank you for organizing such a workshop and seminar where
and I wish Gopadi will continue with this. We must.
Absolutely. We would like to be with you.
Thank you, Gopadi. So, with the permission of the chair today, Gopadi, Gopadotto Bhumik, former Vice Chancellor of Gauravanga University, I'll end the meeting now. Gopadi, you have to say it.
Hello?
I know it's very Brahmanical, but you have, yeah. If you
I'm very thankful to you. I'm thankful to you, and very grateful. As you invited me, I had the opportunity to listen to Professor Debbarma and learned what the actual position of Kokborok, its dialects, its problems, and some sad stories which we discussed.
No, language is politics, and politics is
language, politics, and dominant-dormant position.
Yeah,
these are all discussed. Okay, we are trying to be more tolerant nowadays.
Right.
We are trying to be tolerant because we should be tolerant. This is our first duty, and that is the promise of 21st February.
Right.
To show respect to other languages.
True.
To show respect to
and
other
I'm
languages.
so happy that India chapter of International Society of Bengal Studies tried to do this.
Absolutely.
They have not celebrated Bengali as a language. In last, including today, this chapter celebrated all the scheduled languages.
And it's a beautiful endeavor.
And so I must thank also Professor Topodhir Bhattacharya, who is the president of the India chapter, Professor Sucharita Banerjee, who is the secretary of India chapter, and Professor Krishna Bhattacharya, who is along with me, and Shomir Kormokar, Dr. Shomir Kormokar. We three tried to put together languages about whom we don't usually talk and about whom we felt that we must talk on the eve of or event of the International Mother Language.
Thank you.
So with your permission, Gopadi, I'll close the meeting.
We are closing now. Thanks to thanks to Amitabh, thanks to Professor Dev Verma, thanks to Krishna and all the viewers. Now it is not only listeners, viewers, as it is on
Right.
online platform. And I hope that as this is an international seminar, we have viewers from all over the world. Let us
So
take.
we are also screaming it on YouTube. So
YouTube.
people are listening to us.
So this is a Kokborok should get due respect in Tripura and in India,
True.
which was not shown during last centuries. And as we learned that Kokborok is not a very modern language, it is almost 2000 years old language. And it has developed, perhaps it doesn't have any script. That doesn't matter. It can take Roman or Bengali, whichever they like. Script is no matter. The language is the main thing. Language is there. But we know only a few words of Kokborok. Ker, Kharchi, Chontai. These words we learn. And these are known from Rabindranath Tagore. Tagore used these words in I think that he also didn't know Kokborok. Perhaps he got these words from his
That's why they
acquaintances.
never say Hambai, which means thank you.
Thank you. And okay, Tripura has a very different type of culture and a very different type of lifestyle, very quiet, very peaceful. And in the land of Chora and Mura, the rivers are called Chora and the hills are called Mura. It's a peaceful, quiet, green valley. And I hope it will not be how green was my valley. It will be green forever. Thank you.
So thank you all. And I think we'll continue this conversation. So now I'm closing this